Hello everybody, and how are you? It's been a few days. Kind of took some time. I've been working on some NFT stuff. It's really time consuming. Hours and hours and drawing and stuff like that. Artsy stuff. Man, hopefully in the next couple of months I'll be able to get all those together, maybe weeks. And then I'm going to launch me some NFTs. When I do, I'll show them to you. I think they're cool. They got moving stuff and glitteries and they're cool. Alright, Ubix Network. We've talked about Ubix a little bit. They basically want to be like a single P2P network, DAG blockchain hybrid to integrate blockchains and all that kind of stuff. You can get it on KuCoin, Uniswap. Small market cap, or volume, 846. It's smaller. People were asking me about staking, and I started looking into it, and basically, as of today, 3 hours ago, multiple members reported major problems with stake of stack at the moment. And we hereby urge you not to send Ubix to stake of stack until we have sorted this out. We apologize for the inconvenience and we'll resolve this and let you know. I didn't see this on their Twitter, but I did see it on their Telegram. And I think most of their updates are, at least if you want them in a timely fashion, then you should look at their Telegram group. And it's Ubix announcements. And then there's also a Ubix group for, people talking and chitter chatting back and forth and stuff. But this is the official announcements group. And it's pretty, they seem pretty quick to respond on it. I see stuff on here faster, way faster. And often stuff that shows up on here doesn't even show up on their Twitter. Here is the Twitter. So you see we're looking at the roadmap. Last was March 13th. But see, they haven't listed it on here yet about the stake of stack thing. And here's their homepage. Mostly it was an update to watch your staking. I sent somebody a link that asked a question, and so I didn't want to give anybody bad information, and this is all new. 3 hours old, roughly, maybe a little more, a little less. I'll give you a new coin today that I'm looking at, but it's not even... it's just kind of listed and it's new. It's a Binance. And basically it's the first low inflation, completely community driven yield farming project. Okay. But it's got a 3-year reward period for it that they're predicting. You can see it's kind of just another clone. No TVL. It's not even up and running. There's nothing on here yet. This is the site, Tutti Frutti Finance. However, if I read through this article a little bit, 30% of the tokenomics, there's 950 million of these. 30% of them go towards rewards for the first 3-year period. And then when we go down, they have staking, or they'll have staking, liquidity, farming, single asset values, underlying strategies. They have some different stuff though. The retirement fund, where you can get in and earn 10% of the revenue generated payout on the platform if you lock up and stake some of your stuff, some community. But here's where it is, and this is just a speculative. I saw it pop up and was reading through it, but mostly it's going to be a later this year to look at. Q2, Q3, and Q4. So Q2 is going to be the platform launch on Binance. Then the retirement fund, BNB, BUSD vault launch. So then we have right here, the Q3 is when they're going to do an integration via bridge to Ethereum. And then Q4, we're looking at a Polkadot and Cardano integration. And that's when I'm looking at this thing to maybe see some good growth or whatever. If it does what it says and it gets to this Q4 time frame, Q3 time frame, and starts, making integration across the bridge, keeping fees low, and gets on Polkadot and Cardano and expands, then this thing, it could do well. But I'm just looking. All right, let's talk about OVR. Augmented reality. This thing has been doing really well. It's up to over $1 now. I think when we first started talking about it, it was, it's 3x'd at least since then. It's only been around for just a little bit. It's pretty new. It is a geographically located, virtual land. There is another OVR technology It's not the same one. They do virtual reality and stuff, but this is all factory. So bringing scent to your VR experience, and I don't want you to get those confused. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about smell-o-vision. We're talking about over the reality, OVR. $1.14. It's up 12%. Here's your address for it. And then it's got a $21.5 million market cap, $4 million in the last 24-hour trading volume, and it's up about 200% or so. Uniswap, MXC, and they'll have an exchange where you can get this directly. And so that's why I'm bringing this up, is they have some news coming up, and I'll talk about that here in just a second when we get to their Twitter. But OVR is a cutting-edge AR platform powered by the Ethereum blockchain. OVR makes it possible for users provided with a mobile device or smart glasses like the Google glasses or Kids or Third Eye, any of those. OVR can be defined as a new standard in augmented reality with a geographical experience based on your geographical position, okay? So you're basically buying a piece of virtual land that's tied to a geographical location. And they've put out like 1.6 trillion little geographical dots all over the world. The whole world has been augmented, or, set up for this augmented reality through OVR, and they're called overlands. And these virtual lands are a major focus of the metaverse. Here's where they're talking about why it's going to be cool. So you have stuff like Decentraland Sandbox, where you can buy a digital land and do your stuff in a metaverse kind of feel. But that's the thing, is it's not in real life. This brings it to real life. You could buy a geographical location and then do whatever you want. Virtual lands, which are a major focus of the metaverse NFTs, are spatial domains, and owners of such domains have control of the AR/VR experiences on those geographical coordinates. Take, for instance, your own web domain. You reserve the right to control what content goes on and off your website. It's the same for your virtual space in augmented reality. And OVR is one of the leaders in the metaverse NFTs that make it possible to own a virtual land by holding the NFT overlands. The ability to contextualize custom experiences related to specific geographic locations, from static 3D contents to games, events, avatars, and any experience you dare dream on your virtual land. So you can do what you want, and the way I kind of understand is, it doesn't matter who owns the real land if you get the virtual land, which is an interesting concept in itself. You can freely trade your overlands. So the exchange is going live soon, and right now, currently, if you want to trade your overlands, you have to mint them and then go to like OpenSea or something and trade them once they're minted. You got to pay the fees to mint them and stuff. Very soon, and there's an announcement. I guess we'll look at it right here. Buying or selling without minting the NFTs soon on our secondary marketplace. So they're coming out with their secondary marketplace very soon, where you can just buy and sell, trade your overlands without having to mint them, which will save a lot of fees. So basically, every land is $10 for initial. The initial bid is $10, and then if somebody wants that land that you bid on, you have to double every time until somebody wins, right? And so that happened. So far in Granada in Spain, the Palace of Charles V sold for about $900 at the time, through auctions back and forth. Once you own it, though, that's it. There's not another one. So if you get like a really cool, let's say you get like the Statue of Liberty and you get it for $10, and then in a couple of years when this whole augmented reality thing starts kicking off and people want to advertise there and everything, they can pay you and rent the space to advertise at the Statue of Liberty. Even though you don't own the Statue of Liberty, you can advertise there. And it's kind of an abstract concept, but hopefully by the end of this, you'll get a little bit better grasp. And all these all these links will be in the description below, so you can go check them out. There's a lot of good stuff here. These OVR from Mediums are pretty good. Virtual reality state is the future. Are you in? And this is kind of a neat little article too, but it talks about, virtual lands, how you can buy them, and the difference between, like a Decentraland property and an OVR property. And it's getting a lot of attention in Europe. So look, here's what's been, let's see. what's going sold. So 40,000 in Europe compared to like 17 on the East Coast and 7.6 thousand on the West Coast of the United States. And then we see about 6,000, 7,000 in Asia. Not much going on in Africa just yet. A little bit in South America. But so far there's 80,000 lands that have sold. And you have to take into, all of the water is also part of that 1.6 trillion broken up pieces, right? I don't imagine, although it looks like, oh, here we go, yeah. There's not a lot of people that are just going to be buying open sea. If you buy a chunk in the middle of the Atlantic, I don't imagine you're going to get a lot of foot traffic there for marketing or any other kind of virtual experience. You could have Poseidon sitting there, but only that boat that goes through there is going to see it if they have the augmented reality. So think about that. Buying or selling. Very soon, secondary marketplace will open for open. This is a big thing. This is going to make this a lot bigger and help it grow quite a bit more. And you can see the top 10 NFT projects under 20 million, and OVR is right in there with everybody else. What do we got? Waifu. Alright, so let's talk about augmented reality. We're on the cusp right now, and this whole lockdown thing I think has helped promote this and accelerate it. Working from home, the whole Zoom call thing. Alright, so now with these headsets, and some of them are kind of bulky, and some of the AR technology, but it's growing. So you can use, your mobile devices, your tablets, your phones, Google Glasses, and you can see the line. So you have, these are going to be some growing trends, right? So trend number 1, mobile AR, Apple AR Kit 4, and Google AR Core. Augmented reality programming is going to grow. Interaction with consumers is going to grow. So here's your AR in shopping and retail, where you can do virtual fitting rooms. You'll be able to try stuff on, see how it is. IKEA has it where you can bring furniture and put it in your house virtually through augmented reality. Navigation is another. Instead of your phone talking and telling you, you could look at your phone and navigate like through complex areas, and it would just lay it out like the yellow line on a football field or something like that. That's all augmented reality. It's been around for some time now. These are just different kinds, but augmented reality in the automotive industry and remote assistance and manuals and pulling stuff apart, all Tony Stark style. Pretty cool. So portable augmented reality and augmented reality events. These are already starting to grow. You're starting to see some of these kinds of events. You're seeing a lot of virtual reality events too, in like Somnium Space and Decentraland and stuff like that. So some of them, like you have the Microsoft HoloLens, and it's pretty neat, but it's a little bulky for me. It's more industrial. I don't see someone running around town with this. Then you have some pretty cool, so here's you got the steampunk looking ones, you got some glasses, you got some goggles, you got, these are, but still we're getting a little better right here. And that's the Rokid, which isn't bad. It's tethered to your phone. Universal mixed reality for mobile. And that's probably going to how it's rolling out at first, is going to be tethered to a phone, and it's going to enhance. And it's probably not even going to be the full immersive experience at first. It'll be your glasses where just more of a notifications, and you'll be able to look and maybe see an email or have a couple scripted text response, like the first kind of Apple Watch things. It's more of an extension of your phone instead of an entity in itself. That it's, but that immersive experience I think will build. Here's more of the Rokid. See, they're more like 80s Brian Bosworth kind of goggles going down. The Oakley blades, but it's getting there. And I think another big growing trend on this, and you see the car there, but it's going to be augmented reality is going to grow in the car market. So you're going to see luxury car companies start to incorporate augmented reality into their driving experiences with overlays and heads-up displays and stuff like that. probably even augmented reality, maybe even in the backseat for the kids. You know, immersive movie experience, entertainment experiences and stuff like that in luxury cars. And then eventually, you know, maybe minivans, you can have animated characters bouncing around the backseat, keeping your kids busy, watching TVs and cartoons. Here's another one, Third Eye, very 80s Blades looking thing. More industrial scale, but it's pretty cool because now you're starting to bring, look at this guy, it says here's your valve, turn it this way, right? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. You don't even have to learn that anymore, just follow the arrow. Then we start getting into the cooler stuff. Now these are the View 6 glasses. You know, they're a little less, they're kind of Buddy Holly, they're a little thick, but they have a lot going on. And you can see that basically if you drop these one time, you're probably screwed. A lot of moving parts, but you know, that's cool. That's cool. Some more trends to keep an eye on. Basically, this whole lockdown has made it to where these things are going to accelerate. Working from home is now a thing, but who wants to sit in front of their computer, do a Google call when you can do like a virtual meetings place? And Qualcomm is really getting close. I'm going to show you something about that in a second. Consumers get fashionable smart glasses. So we started showing you that they're going from like these big 80s Brian Bosworth Oakley blade looking things to, you know, something that has, you know, a little bit less of a birth control look to it. And once they get a little bit fashionable, people start wearing them, they get more practical, and then the experiences get really cool. And now you can see why the OVR stuff starts to kick in, because people are going to be wearing these out and about, and it's going to be a new experience. And if you have some of these properties and they're in high traffic areas, and you have some cool, it's really not that hard to start getting into AR marketing and advertising. And by the time this kicks off, you could have a pretty good product going that people, when they're walking around, are going to just think it's neater than neat. Spatial sensors demonstrate AR beyond the camera and illustrate how a series of sensors. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with LiDAR being built in too, and starting to sense the rooms and giving you, where if there's a table, your AR will know that there's a table and bounce off or sit on it, or it's pretty cool. 5G is coming through. So here's Qualcomm advances AR industry with the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR1 AR Smart Viewer Reference Design. Basically, here's what your working experience. This is working from home from now on, I think, where you have a virtual meeting place, and then everyone visits through augmented reality or virtual reality. And this is basically like a virtual reality thing, but it could also be, and see, each of these is someone's avatar, and then they are attending a meeting together. See, they have these glasses, and it's a 3D immersive experience. And this, you know, obviously looks very VR, but it could also be done in AR, right? Where we see someone at a physical location and an avatar working together. See, here we go. This is in the office, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the augmented section of it, where we have real life, real places, and other people in other places, and everyone is either connected, augmented, you know, the ones that are there in real life, or virtually with the ones that aren't. It's a pretty neat experience. And this will help with like project managed meetings. You can have meetings on the go. You can have, you know, it's within 1 to 3, by the end of the year, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of this stuff to come out. And within the next 3 years, I think that this